Well, the very best of European football right there, and as we can see, the fixtures to expect later today. You have AS Monaco against Aston Villa for the English team. They're high-flying at this point in time. Atalanta against Storm Graz. They will definitely be banking on Super Eagles forward and African Footballer of the Year, Ademola Lookman, to get them through. Atletico Madrid against Bayer Leverkusen. That's another one to look out for. Benfica against Barcelona. Bologna against Borussia Dortmund. Club Brugge against Juventus. You have PSV in there as well. Liverpool against Lille, all eyes on this one because it's at Anfield. And more importantly, Liverpool have the chance to secure top spots in the revamped UEFA Champions League format. And finally, have Slovan Bratislava against Stuttgart. Promise, quite a handful of fixtures right here. I think beyond Liverpool, another one should look out for will be Atletico Madrid against Bayer Leverkusen. It's definitely all to play for between both sides in terms of getting that automatic spot. Remember, all teams are jostling for a top 8 finish.
The best team in Europe this season, and a win over Lille tonight is almost very predictable. But like you mentioned, another very important fixture will be the Atletico game. They are playing at home against Bayer Leverkusen, and both teams are really striving and struggling to ensure that they get that auto qualification to the round of 16 of the Champions League. But another game there will be Club Brugge. Club Brugge will be taking on Juventus, and we'll be looking forward to see Raf Onyedika feature for Club Brugge in tonight's game. He's a Super Eagles midfielder. He's been the engine room for that club this season. Samson.
Yeah, quite a handful of matches. Super Eagles players will be playing as well. I mentioned Ademola Lookman earlier, starring for Atalanta in there. They will be hoping to bounce back to winning ways. Remember last time out, they lost to Real Madrid in that 5-goal thriller. Ademola Lookman also getting on the score sheet. And beyond that, there's also Benfica against Barcelona. For Hansi Flick's men in recent weeks, they've had inconsistent results. They'll be hoping to really get back to winning ways. But for the likes of Aston Villa, this would also be a litmus test, you want to say, against AS Monaco away from home. Should they get a favorable result, probably a win, or at the very least a draw, then Aston Villa will also fancy their chances of getting, a top 8 finish in the UEFA Champions League. But what's more important for some of these teams is getting the victories, the maximum points in the last 2 rounds of matches, because it's all about that top 8 finish at this point in time. We know for defending champions Real Madrid and as well as Manchester City, it's definitely a tall task at this point in time, especially for PSG as well as Bayern Munich. These are big boys when it comes to European football, but they've not had the very best of outing, talking about the revamped edition of the UEFA Champions League. And it means that they would most likely miss out on an automatic spot into the knockout stages. It's really interesting, and I'll just really want to get your opinion about Bologna against Borussia Dortmund. For Borussia Dortmund, Nuri Sahin definitely under a whole lot of pressure. Domestically, the form has been horrible, to say the very least, going by their lofty standards. But on the European scene, it's a different kettle of fish.
Well, Dortmund, someone said perhaps reaching the final of the Champions League last season became counterproductive for them because ever since that experience, Dortmund has been a shadow of themselves. You barely can tell what Dortmund will turn up on match day, whether in the Bundesliga in Germany or in Europe. But tonight's game surely will be a huge test for them as they travel to Italy to play FC Bologna. But one game that's also dragging my attention right now will be the fixture between AS Monaco and Aston Villa. Aston Villa started the Premier League season like a house on fire. At some point, they seem to have taken their feet off the pedal, but it seems like Unai Emery's men are back to form. We saw what they did at the Emirates at the weekend against Arsenal, coming from 2 goals down to pick a point in London with a 2-2 draw. They will want to take that form into the Champions League when they play against a Monaco side that knows how to pull the ball at the back of the net. And so that fixture is one that surely will produce lots of goals tonight. Benfica, Barcelona at their Estadio Dragao. It's also called the Stadium of Light. But how much light will Benfica bring to tonight's game? We'll wait to see.